Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. And welcome to the Black History webinar for On Time Ministry. So, tonight you're going to get a lot of good information on this webinar, everybody, Facebook and YouTube for On Time Ministry, everybody. So, let's go ahead and get started. All right. The first pioneer we're going to talk about is Jackie Robinson. So I'm going to give you a background history of him. Jackie Roosevelt Robinson was born January 31st, 1919, and passed away October 24th, 1972. Was an American professional baseball player who became the first African American to play in the Major League Baseball, which is the MLB, in the modern era. Robinson broke the baseball color line when he started at the first base for the Brooklyn Dodgers on April 15, 1947. Hold on, everybody. It's too much noise over here. I know y'all can barely hear me. All right, everybody. Y'all probably can hear me now. So, with Douglas, with the Dodgers signing Robertson, it heard the end of the Radicals surrogate in the professional baseball that had regained black persons to Negro Leagues since the 1800s. 1880s. Robinson was indicted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1962. During his 10-year MLB career, Robinson won the inauguration Rookie of the Year in 1947, was an All-Star for six consecutive seasons from 1949 through 1954, and won the National League Most Valuable Player award in 1949. The first player so honored. Robinson played in six World Series and contributed to the Dodgers' 1955 World Series championship. In 1997, the MLB retired his uniform number 42 across all major league teams. He was the first professional athlete in any sports to be so honored. MLB also adapted a new annual tradition, Jackie Robinson Day, for the first time on April 15, 2004, and on which every player on the every team wore a number 42. So many of you may have remembered that they did make the documentary or the biography of Jackie Robinson, the movie that the gentleman who played Black Panther played that movie, number 42, for those of you who have seen it. So this is just some background history that I wanted to kind of just elaborate on this Black History Month. And as we get close to the end of Black History, On Time Ministry has been taking part in this. So this has been the second annual Black History webinar I've done. I didn't do it last year, but I did it the year before, where I shared so much content with you all. So we salute you, Jackie Robinson, on Time Ministry. All right, we're going on to the next heroic hero. So the next one we're spotlighting tonight is Jackie Johnson, the first black heavyweight boxing champ. All right. So John Arthur Johnson was born March 31st, 1878. Nicknamed the Gavis Giant, was an American boxer who, at the height of the Jim Crow era, became the first African American world heavyweight boxing champion 1908 to 1954. Widely regarded as one of the most influential boxers of all time, in 1910, fighting against James J. Jefferson was doubling the fight of the Central, according to the film Ken Burns. For more than 13 years, Jackie Johnson was the most famous and the most notorious African American on earth. Transitioning boxing, he became part of the culture and the history of the racism in the United States. In 1912, Johnson opened a successful, luxurious black tan, desegregated restaurant and nightclub, which in parts was ran by his wife, a white woman. Major newspapers of the time soon claimed that Johnson was attacked by the government only after he became famous as a black man married to a white woman and was linked to other women. Johnson was arrested and charged for violating the Mann Act, forbidding one to transport a woman across state lines for immoral purposes, a racial motivational charge that embroiled him in the controversy of his relationship, including marriages with white women. Sentenced to a year in prison, Johnson fled the country and fought boxing masters abroad for 7 years until 1920 when he served his sentence at the federal penitentiary at Leavenworth. Johnson continued taking paying fights for years and operated several other businesses, including lavish endorsement deals. He died in a car crash on June 10, 1946, at the age of 68. He is buried at the Graceland Cemetery in Chicago. On May 24, 2018, Johnson was formally pardoned by the U.S. President Trump. Right, really. All right. We salute you, Jackson Johnson, the Gavin giant American boxer. May you continue to rest in peace. All right. So now we're moving on to the next one. The next one we're showing here is Frazier Pollard and Bob Marshall. They were the first NFL players, the first football players in the NFL. Frederick Douglass and Frederick Douglass Frazier Pollard was born January 27, 1894. Was an American football player and coach. He was the first African American head coach in the NFL league. Pollard and Bobby Marshall were the first two African players in the NFL in 1920. Football pioneer Walter Champion, called Pollard, was one of the greatest runners these eyes have ever seen. So now we're going to talk about Bobby Marshall. Okay. Robert Well Marshall, born March 12, 1880, was an American sportsman. He was best known for playing football. However, Marshall also competed in baseball, track, boxing, and ice hockey and wrestling. When Marshall played baseball for the Minnesota Central High School. He played first base for 3 years. Central was the champion of the 12 cities high school for Marshall's junior and senior years of 1900 and 1901. When he played baseball for the University of Minnesota, he also played first base for 2 years, 1904 and 1905, helping the university to win the West Conference Championship in 1905. Marshall played the end for the football team of the University of Minnesota from 1904 to 1906. In 1906, Marshall kicked a 48-yard field goal to beat the University of Chicago 4-2. Field goal counted as 4 points. He was the first African American to play football in the Western Conference. Later, the Big Ten. He graduated in 1907 and played with the Minnesota Pro Team, the Deans, and the Marinas from 1920 through 1924. He played the National Football League with the Rocket Island Independent, the Minnesota Marinas, and with Dolan Kelly, among with Frazier Pollard. He was the one of the two African Americans to play in NFL. Robert Well Marshall, may you continue to rest in peace. All right. The next one we're spotlighting is Charlie Stafford was the first black golfer in the PGA. So let's get some background history, everybody. Charles Luther Stafford was born June 2nd, 1922. Was an American professional golfer who was the first African American to play on the PGA tournament. He won the Great Hartford Open in 1967 and the Los Angeles Open in 1969. He also won the United Golf Association National Negro Open 6 times at the PGA Senior Championship in 1975. For his contribution to golf, Stafford was indicted to the World Golf Hall of Fame in 2004. He was awarded the Old Tom Morrison Award in 2007, the President Medal of Freedom in 2014, and an Ari doctorate from the University of St. Andrews. Lee Trevon referred to Stafford as the Jackie Robinson of golf, and the Tiger Woods acknowledged that Stafford paved the way for his career. Charles Luther Stafford, may you continue to rest in peace, and thank you for opening and paving the way for other golfers to follow down that line. All right, the next one is Althea Gibson, the first black athlete to compete in the international tennis. Athena Nels Gibson, August 25th, 1927, was an American tennis player, a professional golfer, and one of the famous black athletes to cross the color line of international tennis. In 1956, she became the first African American to win a Grand Slam title, the French Championship. Miss Athena Nell Gibson, may you continue to rest in peace. All right. Bill Russell, the first black coach in the NBA. We're moving down the line, everybody. All right. William Bell Russell, born February 12, 1934, is an American former professional basketball player who played as a center for the Boston Celtics of the National Basketball Association (NBA) from 1956 to 1969. A five-time NBA Most Valuable Player and a 12-time All-Star. He was the center of the Celtics dynasty and then that won 11 NBA championships during his 13-year career. Russell and Hero Richard of the National Hockey League are tied for the record of the most championships won athletes in the North American Sports League. Russell led the San Francisco Giants two consecutive NCAA championships in 1955 to 1956 and captained the gold medal winnings of the U.S. national basketball team at the 1956 Summer Olympics. Although Russell never averaged more than 19 points per game in any season, may regard him to among the great basketball players of all time for his dynamic defense play. He is 6 foot 10 inches tall with a 7 foot and 4 inches wingspan. His shooting block and man-to-man defense was a major reason for the Celtics' domination of the NBA during his career. Russell was equally nominated for his rebounding abilities. He led the NBA in rebounds at 4 times, had a dozen consistent seasons of 1,000 or more rebounds, and remained second all-time in both total rebounds per game. He is one of the just two NBA players, the other being pronounced a rival Wilt Chamberlain, to have grabbed more than 50 rebounds in a game. It's a lot, everybody. It's a lot. But it gives you a background history of Bill Russell. Bill Russell played in the wake of the pioneer, Black Pioneer, uh, Earl Lou, Chuck Cooper, Sweetwater Clifford, and he was the first black player to achieve superstar status in the NBA. He also served as a three-season 1966 to 69 stunt as a player coach for the Celtics, becoming the first black coach in the North American professional sports and the first to win a championship. In 2011, Barack Obama awarded Russell the Presidential Medal of Freedom for his accomplishments on the court and the civil rights movement. All right, Bill Russell, thank you for your continuous work in this world and the things that you have been doing. He was indicted in the National Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame and the National College of Basketball Hall of Fame. He was selected into the NBA 25th anniversary team in 1971 and the NBA 35th anniversary team in 1980 and named as one of the 50th greatest basketball players in NBA history in 1996. One of only four players to receive all three honors. In 2007, he was enshrined into the FIBA Hall of Fame. In Russell's honor, the NBA renamed the NBA Finals Most Valuable Player trophy in 2009. It is now the Bill Russell's NBA Finals Most Valuable Player Award. In 2020, Russell was indicted into the Basketball Hall of Fame for his coaching career. In the same year, Russell was honored as one of the league's greatest players of all time by being named to the NBA 75th anniversary team. I am amazed. I am amazed. I'm amazed. I'm amazed. Wow. That's an awesome job. May you continue to do good work, Bill Russell. All right. WILMA Rudolph, the first American woman to win third gold medal at the Olympics. Hold on. All right. Wilma Goldine Rudolph, born June 23rd, 1940, was an American sprinter who became a worldwide record-holding Olympic champion and international sport icon in track and field. Following her success in the 1956 to 1960s Olympic Games. Rudolph competed in a 200 mile dash and won a bronze medal in the 4 by 10 medal relay at the 1956 Summer Olympics at the Melbourne, Australia. She also won three gold medals in a 102-meter individual events and 4 by 100-meter relay at the 1960 Summer Olympics in Rome, Italy. Rudolph was accomplished the fastest woman in the world in the 60s and became the first American woman to win three gold medals in the single Olympic Games. Due to the worldwide televised coverage of the 1960 Summer Olympics, Rudolph became an international star along with other Olympic athletes such as Casey Clay, later known as Muhammad Ali, and Oscar Robertson and Rafa Johnson, who competed in Italy. As an Olympic champion in the early 60s, Rudolph was among the most high valuable black women in America. In the board, she became a role model for blacks and female athletes, and her uh, Olympic success helped elevate women's track and field in the United States. Rudolph is also regarded as a civil rights and women's rights pioneer. In 1962, Rudolph retired from competing at the peak of her athletic career as the world record holder in the 100 and 200-meter individual events and the 4 by 100-meter relay. After competing in the 1960 Summer Olympics, the 1963 graduate of Tennessee State University became an educated coach. Rudolph died of brain and throat cancer in 1994, and her achievements are memorized in the various tributes, including a U.S. postal stamp, document films, and made from TV movies, as well as numerous publications, especially books for younger readers. Wilma Rudolph, God bless you and continue to rest in peace, and thank you for paving the way. All right, the next one we're talking about is Arthur Ashe, the first tennis player to win three Grand Slams. Arthur Robert Ashe Jr. was an American, first and foremost, was born July 10th, 1943. Was an American professional tennis player who won three Grand Slam single titles. Asher was the first black player selected to the United States Davis Cup team and the only black male ever to win the single title at Wimbledon, the U.S. Open, and the Australia Open. He retired in 1980. Arthur Ashe, thank you for your hard work and dedication, and may you continue to rest in peace. All right. The next one we're saluting is Gabby Douglas, the first black gymnast to win individual all-around champion. All right. Gabby Christine Victorious Douglas, born December 31st, 1955, is a retired American artistic gymnast. She is the 2012 Olympian all-around champion and the 2015 all-around silver medalist. She was a member of the gold-winning team at both the 2012 and 2016 Summer Olympics, debuting the Fierce Five and the Final Five by the media respectively. She was also a member of the gold-winning American team at the 2011 and 2015 World Championship. Douglas is the first African American to become an Olympic individual all-around champ and the first U.S. gymnast to win golds in both the individual all-around team compete at the same Olympics. She was also 2016 AT&T American Cup all-around champion. As a public figure, Douglas' gymnast succeed have led to her life story adapting in 2014 Lifetime biofilm The Gabby Douglas Story, as well as the etiquette of her reality TV series, Douglas Family. Gold Douglas has also written about her life. Huh? Oh, as well as an adequate of her own reality show series, Douglas Family Gold. Douglas also written a book about her life and what it takes to be an Olympic gold medalist by determining and preserving. Gabby Douglas, thank you for your hard work. Thank you for your dedication in being a part of the Olympics and being also two and all around silver medalists and winning all these medals and just being courageous and just paving the way for young ladies from on to the next level. May you continue to be successful in whatever you do. All right. We are almost at the finish line, everybody. So now we're reiterating from the sports section to the actors part. So many of you, of course, you know Denzel Washington, of course, everybody, right? So we're gonna give you a little bit back. We're gonna give you a little bit of actors like. So we got three actors we're gonna kind of partake in as we end this broadcast this evening, everybody. First and foremost, Denzel Washington, as you see on the screen, ladies. Calm down. All right, so let's give you a little background history about Mr. Denzel Washington. We all know him playing in the Equalizer. We all know him playing in Mo Better Blues and what else, and all these good movies. Played The Preacher's Wife, and the list goes on and on. Denzel Hells Washington Jr., born December 28th, 1954, is an American actor, director, and producer. Known for his performance in the screens and in stage, has been described as an actor who reconfigured the concept of classic movies. He has collaborated with directors Spike Lee and Tony Fogle, Tony Scott. He has earned various awards, including two Academy Awards, three Golden Globe Awards, and Screen Actors Golden Awards and Tony Awards. And in 2006, he has received the Cecil B. DeMille Lifetime Achievement Award. In 2020, the New York Times rated him as the greatest actor of the 21st century. Washington started his acting career in theaters, acting and performing off Broadway, including William Shakespeare, Columbus in the 1979. He first came to the prominence of the media drama in Saint Elsewhere from 1982 to 1988. Washington's early film role was in Norman Jew, A Soldier Story in 1984, Richard Abbott, A Cry for Freedom 1987 for his role as the private trip in the Civil War drama Glory. He won his first American Award for Best Supporting Actor. Through the 1990s, he established himself as a leading man in such various films as Spike Lee bios, Malcolm X 1992, Kenneth Bargain, The Shakespeare Adapt, Much Ado About Nothing, Al J. Plotkin, Legal Theater, The Pelican Brief, John Dennis, Drama of Philadelphia, Norman Jewison, Sports Drama, The Hurricane. Washington won the Academy Award to Best Actor for his role as corrupted detective Alonzo Harris in the crime thriller Training Day. Washington has continued acting in dividing roles such as football coach Herman Booney in the Remember the Titans and The Great Debater by Melvin B. Tolson and Drug Pen Frank Lucas, an American Gangster, and Airplane with Addiction Flight 2022. So Denzel Washington has played in so many movies and plays, and the list goes on and on. Everybody, he played in a Broadway play. This one was called Revised of Austin Williams played Fences. Many of you know that movie Fences. I think it was Viola Davis was playing that part with him in that. Then for the fast forward, he played another movie in May Rain Black Bottom. And then he also played another Broadway revelance of Lauren Hirschfeld as Raising in the Sun of 2004, and Eugene O'Neill, The Iceman, come in 2008. So Denzel Washington has done a lot over the years, like a lot actor, director, producer, and I've played in so many movies. Like, whew, the list goes on and on, everybody. Denzel Washington, continue to keep doing what you're doing. All right, we are almost at the stretch, everybody. So we're moving on to the last two actors of the evening, Forrest Whitaker. Let's give you a background history of Mr. Forrest Whitaker. All right, let's see. Give me a second, everybody. Give you a background history of Mr. Forrest Whitaker. First and foremost, Forrest Whitaker was born July 15, 1961. Forrest Stephen Whitaker has packed a king-size talent in his hunky 6'5", 220-pound frame. He won the Academy Award for his performance and Adun dictator Aima in the film The Last King of Scotland, and also won the Golden Globe Award, the BAFTA. He is the fourth American male to win an American Award for Best Actor, following the footsteps of Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington, and Jamie Foxx. Whitaker was born July 15, 1967, in Longville, Texas, to Lauren Francis Smith, a special educated teacher, and Forrest Stephen Whitaker, an insurance salesman. His family moved to South Central Los Angeles in 1965. The athletic inclined Whitaker initially found himself into a college veto football scholarship. Later, however, he transformed to UCA, where he set his concentrate on music and earned two scholarship training as an operator tender. This in turn led to another scholarship at Berkeley with a renewal focus on acting and performing stages. Whitaker made his film debut at the age of 21 in a radical comedy Fast Time in Redmond High School in 1982, where he played a quiet, natural football player. He went on to play other sport-oriented students, a wrestler in the film called Vision Quest 1985. He gained experience on TV as well as featuring spots on various shows of different strokes 1978, Cajun and Lace in 1981, TV Civil War epic North and South, Book 1, North and 2, 1985, the sequel. The movie that truly put him on the map was The Color of Money, 1986. He played in the movie with Paul Newman's Fast Eddie. Flash was a pure electric. And then he played in Playton, Stakeout, Good Morning Vietnam. He played Clint Eastwood movie called Birds. So he played in a lot of various movies. He played in The Crying Game. He played in Johnny Handsome. He played Ready to Wear. He played for Species. Played in Smoke. He played in Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai, Battlefield Earth, The Twilight Zone. He played in A Rage in Harlem. He played Waiting to Exhale. He played The First Daughter. He played in the movie with him and Angela Bassett, Black Nevitus. He played the preacher, and the grandma was like the first lady. If you haven't seen that movie, but he played in a lot of things, and he's continued to do great work. Everybody, great work. Forrest Whitaker, continue to do what you're doing, man. Much love. All right, last and certainly live news. We have Morgan Freeman, everybody. Let's give you background history about Mr. Morgan Freeman. All right. Morgan Freeman, June 1st, 1937, is an actor, director, narrator. Noted for distinct, deep voices, Freeman is known for his various roles in wide variety of film genres throughout his career, spanning over 5 decades. He has received multiple include Academy Awards, Screen Actor Guild Awards, and Golden Globe Awards. So we can just go down the list of the movies that he has played. He was born in Memphis, Tennessee, of course. Freeman was raised in Mississippi, where he began acting in a school play. He studied theater in Los Angeles and appeared in stage production in his earlier career. He rose in the 1970s in his role of children's TV show The Electric Company, the Shakespeare play Colin, Julius Caesar, Opie Award, the Street Smart, Best Actor. He also starred in Glory. Then he played Lean on Me. Then he was in Driving Miss Daisy. Then he played in Unforgettable by Clint Eastwood. Then he played the Shaw Street Redemption. Then he played in Steve Amistad. He played in Million Dollar Baby. He played in Vincent. He played in The Dark Knight Tribute. He played in Baba. He played in who else? And that's pretty much all the list that they had. But most of you remember him from Lean on Me, being the principal of that movie. And of course, go back a little further, you may think about, oh, he was the one who did the Electric Company. But this is just the hard work and dedication that got him to where he is today, everybody. All right. So that concludes tonight's webinar for On Time Ministries. Everyone have an amazing and a safe night. You can go ahead and watch the replay of this webinar. This is on demand for YouTube. You can watch the replay on Facebook about all the art, the sports athletes, as well as the three actors. So tomorrow night we're going to focus on a lot of actors, and we're going to focus on a lot of actors tomorrow night about 7:30 p.m. So I'm getting ready to the Anchor podcast for the True Solitude 1000. Everyone have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow evening.